So before we get into the weather, I just want to give a very quick update. But sadly, we had 5 Albany County residents pass away last night. A woman in her 70s, 2 women in their 80s, 1 man in his 80s, and a man in his 90s. My condolences and prayers go to the families and to all the families, which now brings us up to 188 people that have passed away from COVID-19. It's a difficult time, like I've said before, and this is going to be a rough month for all of us. We have to hang in there. It's going to take time for the vaccine to get out. One of the things we just got informed, we will get the vaccine for our residents at Shaker Place on either Monday or Wednesday of this week coming, but they will not have the vaccine for our workers until February now. So everything's starting to be pushed back. But again, to the family members, to the 5 family members, my condolences and prayers go out to you. As of today, there's 8,536 cases of COVID-19 in Albany County. We just hit another record today, and we have 222 positive cases overnight. So that's the highest single day we've had. The last highest day we had was 208, and it was December 10th. There are currently 3,245 people that are under mandatory quarantine, the most we've had. And of the new positive cases, 38 had close contact to a positive case. 12 were healthcare workers, and 2 reported traveling, and 170 we don't know at this point in time. I want to tell people to be patient. These numbers we're having, we've got new staff, we reassign people to the department. It's going to take time to get to every person that is positive, and then to do the history. To talk to one person, I think Dr. Whalen said it the best, takes about an hour to go through everything with that one person, and then it's a domino effect from there. So please be patient. We're going to try to do our best to get everyone. Over the last 5 days, and our average now is 186.4 new positive cases each day. Yesterday it was 181.6. As of today, 29,641 people have now completed quarantine. 6,935 tested positive for the virus and have recovered, and we have 169 today that have recovered. Unfortunately, another new record we hit today is now we have 100 people hospitalized from the virus. Yesterday we had 96. The day before we had 94. And the record number of people currently in the hospital was previously 98 on December 10th. We've had 15 new hospitalizations overnight. Like I said, we usually get 15 to 18, but you got going in and coming out, but having 100. So, and then unfortunately, we have now 18 patients that are currently in the ICU. Yesterday, that was 15. Our ICU is going up, our hospital capacity is going up, and our numbers are going up. Our hospital data is something we've continued to watch closely. We need to make sure our hospital systems don't get overwhelmed. As the governor said, that's the way we're doing it here. He changed the microcluster a little bit, but you can see our hospitalization rate increased from 4.88% on Sunday to 6.25% today. That reflects on the graphs for the hospitalization for the capital region, which is up on the board, and you can see it fluctuating, but still on the rise. But if you compare our hospitalizations to other regions in the state, we're doing better than most. One thing the governor highlights during his briefings is the percentage of people hospitalized compared to the region's population. The capital region was consistently at 0.02%, but we now have an uptick of 0.03%. That brings us closer to regions like Western New York and Long Island. Another indicator is our hospital beds capacity, and you can see by the graph on the screen, the capital region hospital beds available is down 24% compared to the beginning of the month when we were at 30%. I know I say this a lot, and I will continue to say this. Please wear a mask, cough into your arm, clean your hands, stay 6 feet apart, only go out when necessary, and some of the comments we did get, we have been under 50% of our workforce for the last 3 weeks. We implemented this early back in December when we seen the numbers going up around Thanksgiving. probably like 46%. We have essential services, just like the mayor does, that we have no choice but to have to come into work because we have an obligation to the people, like DSS, people that need assistance for living, they need food, they need heat. I could go on. In DCYF, our children's department, our mental health department, they have to come in. And unfortunately, DSS is a little bit harder to not have that employment under 50% like other departments. Some departments are well under 50, and some, like Department of Social Services, can't be under 50 for that reason, because that's just a little bit of the programs that they run day in and day out that are crucial to everyone here in the capital region, or actually I should just say in Albany County. So we will continue to watch the micro cluster zones as we continue to monitor hospitalizations and beds and doctors and facilities. So please bear with us. We have testing that's available. Please call the Whitney Young if you don't have insurance, and we can pay for it at 518-465-4771, and we cover the cost. Go to UAlbany. Obviously, the state has in charge, and they have a great partnership going there. You can call there and go for free. Also, there's Price Chopper, CVS, Priority One. As we continue to talk about, go to the albanycounty.com to see the testing sites for children's ages and things like that, and wait times. Or if you want a rapid test, it's all available for you. And again, our mental health support line's available for you at 518-269-6634, and the sexual assault hotline number, as always, and the 211 with United Way and the New York State hotline. I know that was a little quick, but we got a lot going on, and unfortunately, people just see this one part of the mayor and I, where they just see the COVID world and what's going on, and we got so many other functions going on, just like this storm. And this storm is. We don't stop operating. We still have to deliver our services. We still have to get things out, and people aren't happy, and I know some people aren't happy about the streets. My neighbors helped me get out. I got stuck. I had never gotten stuck. I got stuck this time. Thank you to my neighbors. And just a little bit of a great story. We had 2 highway DPW workers who've been great through the COVID world, but they do a great job on our roads in the Hilltown. And Lee Hartnett, our equipment operator too at DPW, who's also the chief of the Eastburn Fire Department, and Jason Smith, highway foreman too. They're on that call with the 12-year-old that got stuck in the snowbank. Unfortunately, a family member plowed her in and didn't see it. We have a partnership that Sheriff Apple and us set up a while ago, where our DPW in the Hilltown has the radios for the police department and EMS, and they respond and they clear the path for the ambulance to get off the Hilltowns to get into the cities. It's a partnership that's worked for a long time. He happened to hear the call, got there, the father was doing CPR, and Lee jumped in and got the girl revived, and then EMS showed up. So it's an awesome story how it works with the sheriff's dispatchers and the sheriff's EMS department and our people working together in a partnership. But to Lee and Jason, thank you for what you do above and beyond, and to the 12-year-old girl who's doing well at this point in time. So to talk a little bit about the storm, we declared a state of emergency at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're up all night. It's something we don't like to do, but it's kind of weird. It's like, we have half the workforce working at home. Do you close the buildings, but then you have still people working? So there's a whole logistical thing that goes on behind the scenes to deal with union contracts and a variety of other stuff that you have to address. And but we got walloped 15 to 25 inches in most parts of the capital region, and some areas got over 2 foot, like the town of Gilding and other places. So the hill towns typically get more snow than we do here. So it's challenging. And with the visibility, I've never had, Mayor Sheen and I were talking this morning, and I've never once heard my DPW commissioner, Lisa, and her deputy ever say to me, we can't do this. It's the visibility was so bad. It slowed them up so much. They go, it's the first time I have ever heard them in the 9 years that I've been county executive say they were doing the best they can. They were staying on the road, but doing it safely, but they could only go, the visibility was so bad that they were driving very slow. It was hard to push that much amount of snow when you're going at that speed limits. And it's the first time they ever said that to me, that we can't keep up with it. I've never seen like I said, the 9 years of all the snowstorms when we had in 2019 when we closed, they're always like, we got this, boss, we got this. And it was the first time, and then Mayor Sheen called me, and I'm like, you won't believe the phone call I just took, you know. So, you know, to the men and women out of our DPW crews, thank you for what you're doing. We got 28 large plows assessing the storms continuous, and the road's being cleared. And it obviously looks like we're getting over the hump, but there's still a lot more to do. And so I do want to say to anyone, you know, if you need to area that you're not seeing, be patient. It's going to take time for us to get there. We're trying to do the mass roads first and trying to stay up on the smaller roads, but again, this one's been more difficult than anything else. So I know some of the storm has stopped the schedules from being tested today, so that's going to be an issue. You can reschedule your appointment at they have a hotline number set up at 1-888-364-3065. And again, you just got to be patient. We're not going anywhere. Kind of, you know, like we've been telling everyone, stay home anyway. Take your time. It's a lot of snow out there, and as the mayor and I were just saying, and she said it better than me, that it's supposed to be this fluffy snow. I want to go find that news reporter that said that it's
Yeah.
It was heavy, but Mayor Sheen, please, by all means, take over. And
Thank you, County Executive. And, you know, I just have to say, you know, there's only so much that people can do. There's only so much that equipment can do. This is a storm that started out looking pretty easy. I think everyone thought we had it well at hand, and then it really kicked in, and I had a similar experience. I mean, Sergio Panunzia has been around many years. He's worked in this field for, you know, most of his entire career. And when I talked to him this morning, he said, you know, this storm is beating us. It kicked up in the morning, and I think it took everybody by surprise. I think most of us thought we were going to wake up, find some fluffy snow, and clear roads. And what we found was a very, very serious storm that was still swirling and was still dangerous. The county executive and I, as quickly as we could, did what we could to get the word out, to declare a state of emergency, to send the message that people should not be out on the roads, that it was not safe. And we watched as what was supposed to have ended by 7 a.m. Was coming down at 2 to 3 inches an hour at 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we're still out there moving it. It's going to take time. We need for people to be patient. We started this storm with 67 pieces of equipment. We've lost a few pieces of equipment because of the heaviness of the snow, the amount of snow. We are out there with all of our resources that we have available. We have, you know, a lot of lane miles that we have to clear, and we have a lot of new workers. So, you know, a lot of the challenges that we're seeing are what businesses are seeing, you know, as well with respect to the impacts of COVID, where, you know, we have people who chose to retire, and we had a lot of jobs that we didn't fill because of the financial uncertainty that we faced with respect to COVID. We have filled most of those positions, but, you know, those are people who are newer to this work. But to the county executive's point, our most experienced plow drivers have said that they haven't seen anything like this. And that storm in 2019, you know, and there was another one in 2017 that was really bad, but this one really created some visibility issues. I will say another really troubling thing that I heard, and tragically there was an accident on 787 involving a snowmobiler. I had to ask my fire chief and my police chief twice to repeat that to me. But it was a snowmobiler on 787, and I was told by our Commissioner of General Services that he was getting calls from our plow drivers of snowmobilers in the middle of the night on Western Avenue. You know, we don't need to make the jobs of these individuals harder, and that is what happened during the storm. So I'm hoping that we don't have any more of that. We still have a lot of work to do to clear snow. We still have a lot of work to do to try to get back to normal. The city of Albany has to physically remove snow. We have such density and on-street parking that we have to bring in dump trucks and front loaders. I have asked the state for assistance with that, but I know that the state is dealing with even more snow down in the Binghamton area, so we don't know whether those resources are going to be available. They want to help us, and I know that they will if they can, but it's going to take us time to get this snow out of here. We are implementing our snow emergency, which is the alternate side of the street parking, effective 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. It doesn't make any sense to do it tonight because we're still going to be pushing snow. But tomorrow morning, people need to be parked on the even side of the street. We're going to get lots cleared out today so that you have a place to park your car. All that information is available on our website, albanyny.gov. Even side of the street starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then on Saturday, 8 a.m., you'll be moving over to the odd side of the street. I also just want to follow up on where we are with COVID. The numbers today are tough. And it's the holiday season. And I don't know about you, I like football. I watch a lot of football. And I'm watching these football ads, and everybody's out having a good time. It looks like a lot of fun. It's not. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You cannot have people over. You cannot have house parties. You don't know who is sick. And we have a lot of asymptomatic people out there that are spreading it. And as we approach the holiday season, all you have to do is spread it to the wrong person. And you end up like we did today with 4 people who have passed away. So, we all need to be vigilant. We have a vaccine. That's the great news. Now we just have to get ourselves to the vaccine. So we all need to step up, do our part, get ourselves to the vaccine by wearing a mask, by remaining socially distanced, by not having house parties, by not having these gatherings where, you can spread it. I had a heartbreaking conversation with a friend of mine whose wife is in a nursing home, and a dear friend of theirs passed away, and his wife desperately wanted to go to the funeral. And he said to me, my kids are saying I shouldn't take her. I was able to get a medical pass to get her out of the nursing home to go to the funeral, but my kids don't want me to take her. What do you think? And I said, you can't take her. And as heartbreaking as that is, and as hard as that is, the best thing for her right now is to stay where she is and to try to keep her safe. So these are heart-wrenching decisions. People are making sacrifices, and we're not belittling those. We're not I'm not saying that it's not hard. It is hard, but it's important. And it's hard for all the right reasons. So help us get to the vaccine, help us get to where we can actually truly keep people safe by wearing your mask, staying socially distanced, and making sure that you're going to be at a table with your loved ones next year. That's the goal we should all be thinking about. So thank you for inviting me to join you. And you know what, people, you can be mad at me, you can yell at me, you can yell at our DPW guys, you can yell at our DGS guys. I'm just telling you, they're working their hearts out. And this is Mother Nature. It's a heavy snow. It's packed in there. If elected officials had the ability to prevent snowstorms, believe me, we would. But
right.
Please know, we are working our hearts out, and I know it's frustrating, and I know that people have places to go and things to do. We're moving as fast as we can with the resources that we have, and we want to make sure that we get the streets cleared, and we'll do it as quickly as we can.
Thank you, Mayor. And again, just be patient. Look, we've had a lot thrown at us in 2020. We're almost in 2021, and this should be distant memory too. But we're strong. We'll get through it in a partnership, working together. But please stay safe, keep your distance, wear a mask, and continue to clean your hands.